Morning, everyone, and welcome to Getting Started with Rentals with Rental Beast and Main MLS. We're going to cover quite a bit today, so just FYI already, if you have to jump off early or if you miss anything, there will be a recording of this that's going to go out within 24 hours of the ending of this webinar. So don't worry, if you miss anything, you will have a chance to rewatch. We do have Amy as well from Maine on the call as well, who is going to do during the demo portion of the webinar a brief search of Flexmls, just so you guys know how to do that within your own system. And then what I'm going to cover is the rental beast search, just the basics of adding a rental beast listing within the platform, how to price a unit with CMA, and how to share application manually and with your quick apply link. So just kind of another overview of just what we're going to cover today in this webinar. So we're going to go over the importance of just why rentals and why it should matter to your business, how to add and adding a listing inside of Rental Beast, marketing those listings, how to utilize the search in Rental Beast, how to use the client communications to support the leads or the clients that you're working with, and then how to enable and use our tenant screening tool, Apply Now. And then, of course, we'll go over some support and resources, and then there will be a very quick demo at the end to go over some key important features. If you have any questions, please put those in the Q&A chat. I will devote a few minutes at the end of the webinar, granted we don't go over, to get some questions answered. If they do not get answered on the webinar, please rest assured we will get your questions answered. We have support members that will reach out directly within 24 hours of getting those answers to you, so don't worry. Jumping right into it, rentals and why should they matter to your business? So from this screenshot, you can see that 2.2% of the rental vacancy rates. This is a record low according to the Federal Reserves. What this means is the demand is incredibly high. Rentals are moving fast. The average rental price is 2000 statewide. This is actually a massive jump from 2023, which was about 1600, the average. This is another thing that makes being able to accurately price your rentals super, super important, which is, we're going to go over the CMA tool to make sure that you're able to do that, because this is very critical, more than ever, that you're able to correctly price a unit. 53% of Maine renters are cost burdened. So what does this mean? That means over half of the renters are actively looking for a better, more affordable housing situation. This is actually very, very massive because now you're going to have like a highly active pool of renters who are looking for new options. Maine now has access to over 1,000 active rental listings. This is substantial, but it gives you instant availability to be able to support these renters that are going to be now looking within the market. And whether you're working on the renter side of it, working directly with clients who are looking to rent out properties, or if you're working on the landlord side of it and you're helping them to price their units, being able to have this amount of listings available to you does a huge service to you and your business. And like, just the overall kind of key point to take away from this is the rental leads today will turn into future home buyers. Every good agent understands that you have to constantly build your lead funnel to make sure that even if you're only focused on sales, that you have a rotation of clients that are being fed into that funnel so that you're able to actually, work those sales and reach those home buyers. And rentals are very much potential buyers in the future that you can actively build relationships with now. And just another kind of just very overarching, kind of core theme of just like rentals, it's to build multiple connections from a single source. With rentals, you have an immediate revenue. So you're working with renters to provide a consistent income right now in the moment, but it also gives the opportunity for repeat business. A single renter offers the potential for multiple transactions, whether it's referral, whether it's another rental, or whether it's in the future of being a home buyer. And then, of course, just like the overall takeaway here is rentals are just not a one-time deal. Again, I want to double down on this. It's an opportunity to build your pipeline for future listings, purchases, referrals. Even with working with landlords who are renting out their units, you are building relationships, bringing renters to them for any active listings, of being exclusive listing agents for them, or when they're looking to sell their homes in the future. So there's just a lot of potential that starts with just simply working and considering working with rental clients that you don't want to dismiss from your business overall, whether you are working strictly with landlords or you're focused solely on sales. Renters can add a substantial amount of benefit to your business, especially if you know how to take advantage of just kind of like cultivating those relationships and using the rental beast and the listings that you have access to do so. So, as far as the rental ecosystem and what you have access to inside of Rental Beast at the moment, this is what's in your toolkit. I know it's a lot. As I said, like this will be recorded, so you have the ability to go back over and kind of just take another look at this webinar. But also, I advise to just go into the system and just play around with a few things as well to get familiar with it. But a quick overview of what you have access to is, of course, adding your listings into Rental Beast directly. This is a very easy, user-friendly, rental-specific tool. So any rental fields that you are looking for, you're going to be able to find within the Rental Beast ad edit. You'll have access to PMS integration. So if you work with an Appfolio, a Tenant Turner, Turbo Tenant, we actually get the listings in from these partners that gives you the ability to claim or associate yourself with these listings in order to not have to do double entry on multiple platforms. Of course, you get the robust rental search and, the ability to utilize the pricing by being able to search both MLS and exclusive rentals all in one place, whether you do that inside of Rental Beast or inside of Flex. You have some smart pricing where you're able to build more accurate rental comparative analysis because you now have access to both MLS and Rental Beast data. There's client alerts, so you'll be able to better support your clients by being able to share listings with them easily, track client details, and also track what they're doing into the system, which what we call an activity hub. And then the renter placement. So we do have a tenant screening tool that's called Apply Now. That's fully FCRA compliant that you have the ability to either use for renter clients or on your own listings. If you're using it on your own listings, it's a shareable quick apply link, or what we call a quick apply link that you have the ability to use to share with any clients through email, to put it behind a QR code, a bunch of different ways that you're easily able to allow those clients to initiate an application on your exclusive listing. There's lead generation options. So we get leads generated off of the exclusive Rental Beast listings. I like to make this clear. Any leads that are generated in our system that are sent out to agents from our actual exclusive listings are, you have the ability to generate additional business and things like that. If you have your own listing and exclusive listings, we never give the leads for those listings away. It's your listing, your lead. So if you see leads being generated within the system, these are always off of our Rental Beast exclusive listings, never your agent listings. Your listings are always your leads, and they will be auto accepted for you 100%. I like to make that distinction there because there's always questions, rightfully so. Are you giving the leads for my listings away? Absolutely not. If a lead comes in on your listing, it is always sent to you, full stop, 100%. And then you have the ability to take advantage of the branded My Rentals page. And what this is a customizable rental page where you can collect applications, you can generate additional lead generation similar to our website by bookmarking listings there, or you can use it to simply promote any active exclusive listings that you have. It gives you a unique URL that you can share, and then users can go to as if it's your own personal rental website. It's branded with your information, so your contact photo, your picture, your contact photo, your email, and your phone number will all be branded on this page, and then any lead that's generated off of this page is automatically accept it for you. So you're able to capture 100% of the leads and interest that comes from this page at all times. How do you access all of these benefits that you now, or you've had access to, but you might be new to at the moment? You're going to always log in through main MLS. So you're going to click in your login, you're going to come into your MLS platform, and then there's going to be two ways that you can access RentalBeast. You always want to go through your MLS. You never want to go to rentalbeast.com and then try and type in your MLS credentials. They're not going to work. The best experience that you're going to have is always going through main MLS. And then the first way that you're able to do that is under your quick links. You'll see the RentalBeast icon that's circled here. You'll click that. It's going to bring you into the RentalBeast dashboard. The second way is inside of Flex, and then under products, under menu, and then under products, you'll see RentalBeast Add Edit. That's going to bring you directly into the My Listings tab where you will add your listings. RentalBeast Home Dashboard, exactly how it sounds. It'll bring you into the home page of RentalBeast, and then the RentalBeast Search. That's going to bring you into the search tab of RentalBeast. But you have some very easy, quick ways to get into the platform. But I just always like to remind, if you ever find yourself, you click around and find yourself on rentalbeast.com, just make sure that you loop back around to your MLS and then log in. That way, that is the best way to have the best tailored experience for you. Jumping into Add Edit. So what is it that you have the ability to do with the RentalBeast Add Edit? Of course, you can perform some of the core functions, adding and editing your listing, of course, closing out your listings. We do capture the lease information in order for you to close your listings. You can clone listings. So if you have a previous rented listing, instead of starting all over from scratch, you're able to clone the listing, take the details that you need, keep the photos if you choose, and any documents, and then add or change any information that may have changed over the course of the time. And then there is some helpful alerts that are in the platform that'll just help you better manage your listing. So missing required fields, these need to be filled out in order to make sure that your listing is published. Excuse me. Successfully. The approaching expiration date. So when your contract is expiring, this will give you an alert that either, your listing will be close to expiring or you need to update the contract date. And then mark as rented. This comes into play is if you are claiming listings from, example, your property management software. When you deactivate the listing on the property management software, you will need to come into RentalBeast to mark those listings as rented because, of course, you don't put in lease data inside of your PMS. So we want to make sure that we're capturing those details for the CMAs and things of that nature that you're going to use for your comparative market analysis. So you will need to come into RentalBeast and make sure that you are updating those listings to rented, but you will get a notification that lets you know that needs to be done. I will go over some basics of the Add Edit inside of the demo. So rest assured, you'll be able to see some of this live and in action. And then the search inventory. I also will go over this in the demo as well, but just a kind of a quick overview of some of the capabilities that you have. So it's rental specific insight, so you can easily toggle between viewing only MLS listings, RentalBeast listings, or viewing all the listings. And you'll be able to see some crucial like upfront details such as date available, days on market, the rent price. And this is when you're looking at it just in the search view of it or the list view of it. There's many more details once you actually access the listing. You also have the advanced filters, and this is a rental specific portion of our tool where you're able to search by everything such as pet policies, number of rooms, parking, property type, anything that kind of pertains to rentals that your clients will be looking for, you'll be able to filter by. And then there's an interactive map search that you can pinpoint exact locations for your clients. You can also, if they want to be close to a certain school district or just certain amenities and things like that, you'll be able to use the map to do this as well. Again, I know this is a lot of information that we're going through. You will have the ability, again, to review this in the recording that will be sent, but there's also some helpful resources that will help you get acclimated to the system and things like that. And then, of course, RentalBeast, we're always here to answer any questions that you have. So, like, please, hopefully no one is feeling overwhelmed right now, but if you are, we are definitely here to help if need be. And this is our comparative market analysis tool. So this is going to give you the ability to kind of just scope out and do comparative analysis of a much larger market now having access to the MLS listings and RentalBees listings. The There we go. The CMA is very easy to run. You'll run your search, you'll click the listings that you want to compare, and then once you click this graph icon here, it's going to bring up the branded report. Now, the report is going to be branded with your agent photo, your contact information that you see here on the listing. So I always advise, if you're new to using the platform, go into your settings, make sure you have the best, photo showcase there, make sure all your contact information is correct, because anything that RentalBee sends out on your behalf will have your contact information personalized on it or customized on it. So you just want to make sure it's showing you in the best light, especially if like it's an email or anything like that. But from here, what you're going to get is a summary of the market analysis. So the max, minimum, average, and medium rent prices, the days on market, the lease rate if you're looking for rented CMA, and then a comparable properties that will show just kind of the list of properties that you compared. So you can print it out and present it to whatever landlord that you may be working with, or if you're trying to negotiate on behalf of your rental clients as well for a unit that they're looking at. So you have the ability to do that as well. I will show like a quick view of this in the demo. There we go. And then so for the rental search inside of Flex, this is what Amy will do a very quick overview of before I jump into the demo inside of RentalBees. But because we now send RentalBees listings into your MLS, you're going to have ability to just have a much larger view and access to more data right at your fingertips within Flex MLS. So whether you're searching in RentalBees or you're searching within Flex, you'll have the ability to take advantage of having all those listings in one place, which is really, really great. For managing your clients, you have a couple of options inside of RentalBees. So anytime you accept a lead from RentalBees, whether it's on your own listings or it's maybe if you're taking advantage of the tenant leads, those leads will automatically upload into your clients tab. You can also add clients manually in here as well. And this is like your all-in-one dashboard for all your rental clients. So especially if you're working sales and for rental clients, it's a great way to keep them separated. You're able to capture some key details, wants and needs for your clients, take notes on anything as far as, what they may be looking for. And you can also launch searches directly from the client tab within the profile. So you're not having to navigate back and forth between your search tab and your clients tab in order to look for what your clients in order to search what your clients are looking for. One of the best parts of this tab, though, is the client activity hub. So you can think of this like as real-time notifications as like your Facebook feed. It gives you a 360 client insight of what your clients are doing exactly within the system. Also, it gives the ability for you to see any inventory alerts. So if you set up alerts for your clients, maybe for a criteria that you constantly run for them, anytime they get those alerts, you'll be able to see that here. Anytime your client is favoriting a listing or they request a showing on a listing, you're going to be able to see how they're interacting with that listing within the system. It's also going to give you the ID for that listing and a link. So you're able to take a look at it. If they're requesting to schedule a showing, it's going to capture the time that they want to see it. So keeping you from having to reach out to them. Hey, I see that you like this property. When do you want to see it? Et cetera, et cetera. It gives you the opportunity to be proactive where you can reach out to your clients. Hey, I saw that you wanted to see a showing of this listing at this time. I called, we're scheduled for this. These are the details that you're going to need. So it kind of just helps you to, keep a good management system for your clients, but also stay on top of what they're doing. So you don't have to constantly kind of go back and forth with if they like the listing. If not, you're able to see that within your feed here as well. And it makes it, a lot of our clients that take advantage of this, like it makes it super easy for them to utilize and just give their clients the best support as possible. And then as you can see on the far right of the screen, this is an example of what the email looks like. So if it's inventory alerts is going out or you're manually sending the email to your client, they'll get a photo, they'll get some very quick details of the actual listing, and then it's going to be branded with your information and any message that you put inside of that actual email when you send it. And when it comes to marketing listings, if you have your exclusive listings that you want to market, you have the ability to share those to Facebook's, X, Craigslist, and again, doubling down on any listings that you share, whether they are rental beast exclusive listings or of course yours. If you're sharing it from your account, it's your listing, your lead. But any listing that is your listing, your exclusive agent listings, those leads will only be sent back to you. Like it doesn't matter where you share them. If the listing is attached to you within our system, you are the only person that will always get the leads for that listing. And then some additional just kind of lead distribution you can take advantage of with Rental Beast for your exclusive listings. We have Zillow, Realtor, Rent.com. With Zillow, if you already have, I know some people already have like an outside maybe contractor relationship with Zillow. So if you do, and you already have listings there, they do have like a bot there to kind of keeps from making sure that there's duplicates that are being posted there. So, that would take precedence over any listings that we send to them. But if you don't, this is a great opportunity for a broader lead capture, getting your listings syndicated to all of these additional third parties, and then any kind of interest that comes from these, with these websites are routed through our system and sent to you directly. They're auto accepted for you, so you're just sent the actual lead information, and you don't have to worry about actually missing any of these leads that are coming to you. And it's a great way to kind of just grow your client base and, just kind of give the ability to rent your properties out as quick as possible. I covered this a little bit in the beginning, but the branded rental website is what you see here. So again, as you can see, it'll be branded with your information in the top left corner. It's going to showcase any listings that you have or any listings. If you don't have your own exclusive listings, you can absolutely market Rental Beast exclusive listings. Again, any listings that you bookmark on this page or you're showcasing on this page generates leads for you. So you're not generating leads for someone else when you're using this page. All the business, the inquiries will come back to you and only you because of the unique URL that you have. But you have a lot of agents, especially if they're working both sides with rentals and for sales, will hyperlink this link within their sales website to let clients know, like, hey, if I can't help you in sales at the moment, maybe you have to step out the market. Maybe you have to continue to rent for whatever reason. I can also help you do that as well. I have access to this inventory here. Take a look through, see if you like something. I can schedule for you to show it. But it's a great way to showcase that you have the ability to service your clients on both sides of the coin. So whether they're able to buy at the moment or buy later down the line, you can be the one-stop shop for your clients. And this is a good way to kind of utilize that by, showcasing either any exclusive listings you have or the inventory that you have access to within Rental Beast. And again, it is customized and branded, so it only shows your information on this web page. All right, guys, hopefully you're still with me. We have a little bit more to go, and then we will jump into the demo. So for apply now, for your exclusive listings, if you choose to use the Rental Beast Apply Now tenant screening tool, we'll cover over just some benefits of that. Or if you are a tenant agent working with renters and you're working with a landlord who doesn't have their own application process, they say they will use the Rental Beast application for your client. This is some good information to know. So the application, which is called Apply Now, it's mobile friendly. So from start to finish, when you invite someone to apply, they'll get an email and they're able to complete that application right there on their phone. Probably 90% of the world completes everything or mostly everything on their mobile device. So they're able to do that without interruption. The tool is FCRA compliant. We take privacy very seriously here. This means that we only share sensitive information with the right people. So that would be the applicant themselves and the designated reviewer of those reports. So this will be the person that has been selected from the initiating of the application to actually review the reports and make a decision. So whether that's the listing agent or the landlord, there's only going to be two individuals at a time that actually have the ability to view the reports. If you're the tenant agent and you're working directly just with the renter, you won't receive your client's private information unless they specifically share it with you. And that's just to make sure that, there's no liability on your end if their information falls into the wrong hands and the stay FCRA compliant. However, you will be kept into the loop of just like the statuses. So when the application is initiated, when your client accepts it, when they start it, when they complete it, and then once the reports are ready, you are kept in the loop every step of the way via email. And then you'll be able to kind of reach out to the listing agent, whoever's on the other end, to make sure that you're continuing to advocate for your client and things like that. You just won't get access to the actual report. It's also a soft credit pull. Of course, this means that it won't have an impact on the applicant's credit score, and which is a big win, especially if they're applying to more than one property. And then the application can be used an unlimited number of times for 30 days at no extra charge, as long as they use the same email address. And obviously, as long as the listing manager agrees to accept the rental bees application, they can go through every listing inside of Rental Bees for 30 days and apply for every property that they come across, and it will not charge them extra as long as they're using the same email address. The initial application fee is $39 for any individual 18 years of age of older. Of course, it's free for agents to use. There is a small caveat for Portland, Maine. If you're running applications there, you will not be able to use this application. For that, you would have to use like a paper application. But outside of that, anyone else should be able to use the Rental Bees application. If you have questions regarding just kind of like the restrictions within your areas and things like that, I would definitely contact your MLS for that. But I just wanted to make a note of that for anyone that kind of works directly in Portland. Once you do enable the quick apply link, there's a couple of the apply now, there's a couple of things that's going to happen. If you notice on the screen, there's an email. You're going to receive this email within 10 to 15 minutes after your listing goes live. This is going to have your quick apply link within it. This will be the link that you can share with your client so that they're able to actually initiate the application themselves. You'll also be able to log into Rental Beast, again, through your MLS. Go under your applications tab and you'll be able to find that shareable quick apply link there as well. No matter how you're sharing it, it's going to bring renter clients, interested parties to this page on the right to start their application. They're going to be able to put in their contact information, add additional applicants if there are any. It will have the first picture, the main photo of the application, as well as just some brief information about the listing and, of course, the listing agent information. Once they click apply now, that is going to bring them into the actual application that they will start to move through. If anybody has questions or clients want to know exactly what the application looks like, or just what they need for it in order to make sure they can just sit down and do it in one shot, we do have a help center article that I'm happy to provide to anyone that reaches out to our support. And then also I can show you inside of the help center as well that will give them a good idea of just like what they'll encounter so they can make sure they have everything they need to apply uninterrupted to the listing. Once they do apply and they complete the actual application, when the reports are ready, the listing agent will get an email that says view the application. Again, you're always going to be guided inside of the actual platform to view applications. So if you are on the road or for some reason you can't get inside of the system at that point in time, or you're just too busy, or whatever the case may be, if you reach out to Rental Bee support and say, hey, can you forward me these reports? We cannot do that because we don't have access to these reports either. We'll never send the reports via email to you. You will always have to log into the platform in order to view it. And again, that's to remain FCRA compliant and just to make sure that information, is very sensitive information, does not end up in the wrong hands. I get emails daily from agents that I've worked with in the past where I know their emails have been compromised and have been hacked hacked and things like that. And we want to decrease the liability of information being compromised because, emails are compromised and hacked and, things like that every single day. So we will never be able to send you reports directly. You will always have to log into the platform in order to access your actual reports that are generated from any listings or clients that you have. Once those reports are generated, they are generated by TransUnion. And what that includes is TransUnion, instead of a regular credit report, they do what's a resident score. And this is just the likelihood of what the renter is to actually make rental payments, but it also takes into fact evictions, any court filings, criminal background checks where applicable. Again, this comes directly from TransUnion. And then, of course, it searches a few major databases, include sexual offender registry. I always advise when going into the application, to view the applications, you can download them to a PDF. I always advise, especially if it's a big file, to download them individually just for the best experience of it. But all of the reports are generated by TransUnion. Typically, reports are generated within minutes, majority under 24 hours. If it does take longer than that, it's typically because there is a discrepancy between the application and TransUnion. So there's information such as maybe date of birth or a name that just may not be consistent, and they would have to do a manual verification. Our system does give alerts if they need to do this. It gives the information for TransUnion, gives the actual ID that they're going to need to speak to TransUnion just to make it a simple process. But just these are some of the situations that can occur if applications are delayed. But I want to say 90% of the applications are generated in 24 hours or much, much sooner. So what we are going to go into now, I'm going to stop sharing my screen and let Amy hop into Flex and do the quick overview of the, this. Amy, I'm going to give you access now. Let's see, let me stop sharing my screen. Make sure you're able to share yours.
Great.
And then once you're finished, I will take over and do mine.
Sounds good. Hi, everyone. I am here in Flexmls. I'm currently on the agent dashboard. To get to quick search, you can go to menu and then quick search. And in the upper left, change search template to 7-residential lease. So here you can see 1,351 listing matches found. I'm going to close that for now and just look at the left here. So we have some criteria we can work with. We currently have active coming soon no-show statuses. That works for me. I'm going to just put a couple things in. So I'll choose Biddeford. And I'll do 2,000 to 3,000 for the current price. And there are other things that can be added as well. So we have county listing source type. So if you want specifically MLS or Rental Beast, you can choose one of those. And then we have living area, lot acres, total bathrooms, that sort of thing. And on the right here, you can see that the map has zoomed in on those rentals in Biddeford. I am going to click on View Results. So it looks like there are 89 based on the criteria I put in. And one thing to point out is Rental Beast listings will have the RB in front of the MLS number, and it will have this RB icon there. And I can click details maybe and look at more detailed reports of these rental listings. And it's the same as other searches. If you do want to save this search, in the upper right, you can click Save, Save Search. And let's say it's for my client, Maria. I have an existing contact for Maria, so I'll just select her. And you can just save that search, or you can save and add a subscription if you want emails to go out regularly to your client. So with the subscription, you can choose if you want them to go out weekly, monthly, or ASAP. And these are emails that will go out every time. So you might want to make it more general, whatever you say in the subject and body of the email. So maybe here are some Biddeford rentals. So I'm going to save that. And now it's set up so that Maria would get those Bedford rentals anytime new rentals come in. I could also email these listings now, the results that are here, but I'm going to just dismiss this. That is a little bit inside of FlexMLS, but of course, reach out to me after if you have any questions.
Thank you, Amy. And then I'm going to reshare my screen here so we can jump into the rental beast search. So this is the rental beast tab. If you're inside of the rental beast platform and you're running your search in here. Some of the best practices when you're running the search is just to make sure that you're allowing for the drop down to auto populate. So say we'll just do Portland. You'll get some drop down options here. You want to make sure that you select from the actual drop down so that the search renders. We're going to do a very general kind of search here. I'll do 25. 3 bedrooms. The status will always default to active or and application pending. So of course, if you don't want to see application pending, you just want to uncheck this. If you are running a comparative market analysis and you only want to see rented listings, you would just make sure to uncheck this, uncheck rented, and then continue on with your criteria search. We're going to do active for right now. And then we're going to come to what this looks like, a hamburger icon. This is the advanced filter section here. This is where you're going to find all of your rental specific fields. So if you click on more filters, you're going to see property type, property structure, water features, kitchen features. If you come over here under unit info, you're going to see specifics for the unit info. So pet types, laundry, heating and cooling, and then some size options here. If you're running a CMA, let me hide this here. But if you're running a CMA and you are looking at rented data, and you're wanting to put in the lease date, like a range, this is where you're going to come for that. But this is where you're going to actually come to put any kind of additional features that you're looking for or filters that you're looking for when running your search. You can click search from here, or you can click it directly from the dashboard. We're going to do search here. There we go. And then you're going to see you're able to actually filter by all listings, MLS listings, or rental beast listings. Any listings that you see that do not have an icon, these are the property management software listings that I mentioned that we get from AppFolio to Turbo Tenant. So you're not going to see an icon there. These are listings that are needing to be claimed by the listing agent or whoever is the listing manager. Anytime you see this icon here, this is the Rental Beast Verify icon. So these are the Rental Beast exclusive listings. So it's very easy to kind of, just know what type of listing that you're interacting with. Under the MLS tab, any MLS listings will have the MLS tag on it. So you're going to know whether it's a property management listing, whether it's exclusive Rental Beast listing, or if it's a listing that's listed by one of your peers. You'll be able to actually see that here. You're able to view by a list view, a tile view, and then of course the actual map view. If you're looking inside the map view, these are the options that you're going to have to kind of add some filters or zone in on it. So say for instance, I want to zone in on this area here. Once I click this, you'll notice that there was a change here. It adjusted to the listings that I highlighted. And then if you want to add layers, you're able to click on point of interest and you have the ability to add supermarkets, restaurants, hospital, banks, transportation under boundaries, which is a super important one for a lot of our clients is being able to apply school district here. Now, I am in a test account, so I'm going to leave some of these unfiltered because if anybody's encountered test encounter or just kind of been in a testing environment, sometimes they have a mind of their own. But this is where you're able to come and interact with the listings directly on a map. We are going to go back to the list view. So if you're wanting to create an inventory alert for your clients, you're able to do that by saving a particular search. And then once you do that, any listings that are added within our system after the fact of you setting up that alert will automatically be sent to your client. If there are listings that are currently in the system that meet that criteria, you will have to email those manually. And how you would do that is just, select on the listing. If you see this plus icon, this is what we call a nest icon. That just means that there are multiple units in a single place. So you would click on it and it's going to give you all the options for the units that are within that building. You would just choose the ones that you want to include, click X, and then you're able to hit the email icon here. Any clients that are already within your clients tab, whether they were auto accepted or you added them manually, will automatically be here. So you can select for them drop down or you can type them in. We're going to use Brianna for the moment here. You can also type in any email addresses here. So say, for instance, if there isn't a client that is within your tab, but you want to make sure that they get the actual listing as well, you can also type in an email address directly. That is my email address. I did purposely put that there. So if anybody has any particular questions that you want to reach out about, please feel free. Be happy to use that. I'll go ahead and put in support@rentals.com. But you can add individual emails there as well. You can put in your subject line, you'll put in your message and then click send, and then that is going to send the emails to your client. If you want to actually save the search to create an alert, you're going to click on the search filters here. You're going to name it. So we'll do main test alert. You'll click the new search and then that will automatically create that search and save that search. And then you'll be able to click this create an alert icon. Once you click there, it's going to ask you to confirm. You'll say okay. And then from there, you'll go into your alerts tab to connect that alert with the client. I'll do that a little bit later. We'll come out of here. And then we're going to run a quick search for a CMA. So we're going to change this from active to rented. And we're going to see what we get. Well, I guess I could have put in, here we go. So you'll see like the status changes from rented. And then so what we're going to do is just choose a couple of options here that maybe we want to just do 1 bedrooms. Here, dun, dun, dun. And then what you will do is click on the graph icon here. This is what you're always going to use to actually generate your CMAs. So once you click here, this is going to generate the actual CMA. And as I said, your information will be branded here. Of course, these random listings that I selected, but you'll see that you have the maximum, minimum, average, medium. So it'll give you the list rent, lease rate, square footage, bedrooms, rental lease days, which is days on market. Of course, it's going to show different in the test account, but then it's also going to give you some comparable properties for the properties that you selected. I did have still some active. You always want to make sure if you're doing a comparative analysis that you either do the lease listings or you do active listings just to make sure that it's obviously as accurate as possible. But this is what the actual CMA will look like. And then you're able to print the listing and then share it with any individual that you're wanting to actually go over this data with. So whether it is your landlord that you're working with directly, or it is another landlord that you're working with on behalf of your renter client and you're trying to negotiate, you're able to print these out and present them to them as well. We're going to clear a criteria because one thing you always want to make sure you do before you leave the search or when you come back in and start a new search is to clear the criteria to make sure that once you start a new search, all the filters are gone and you're able to start fresh all over again. What we will go into next is your My Listings tab. This is where you're actually going to add in your rental listing with Rental Beast. So I have a draft that we have already open, and it's just to make sure that we're making the best use of our time. So when you start a draft, for your listing, a couple of things that you're going to notice is that there are required fields. Those required fields are easily able to be identified because they will have this asterisk mark next to them. As long as you're filling in these actual fields, you'll be able to publish your listing successfully. When it comes to actually starting your listing, so say you're putting in the address, we'll do wild. You're going to get an option for a drop down box. You're going to want to make sure that you select the option there, and that's going to auto populate the rest of the address. Now, if you do type in your address, you don't get an option, and then you may get a box that just says this address cannot be found. This does not mean that you cannot add the listing. It just may be a new build or a new address that has not been logged into Melissa data. So you're able to click continue and then proceed with adding your listing as normal. So rest assured, if you do come by that box, if you click continue, you still will be able to add your listing inside of RentalBees. Once you've filled in the fields there, if there's co-agents, you're able to add there and select from the drop down. You'll obviously be able to select agent here if you like. Once you've filled in the fields for the first page, you'll click save and continue. It's going to give you a confirmation that it was saved, and then it will move you directly to the next tab. And then as you see again, you'll be able to identify those fields that are required. If you do miss any fields, don't worry, our system will alert you a couple of different ways. You'll be able to, one, see that there are exclamation marks on the actual tabs that you need to complete in order to make sure you fill in that data. So you'll be able to see, okay, we have property type, single family, property structure. We'll select these. Looks like we're good to go here. We'll click save and continue. And then again, this is a test account, but you'll see now that exclamation is gone. If you try to publish a listing without those fields, you're going to get, or you should get an alert. Again, this is a test account. There you go. That's going to let you know you still have some fields that need to be filled out. So either way, whether you're noticing the tabs here or you kind of, not paying attention and you just try and publish, you'll be alerted that there's some additional fields that you do need to complete. You're also able to add drag and drop photos. Here you can crop the photos as well as delete, move them around. And then under your applications tab, this is where you're going to be able to designate whether you want to use the Rental Beast application. You would click here, and then this kind of just lets you know where the application will be viewed, and they can apply directly through Realtor.com. It's free for agents to use. This is how you will enable the Rental Beast Apply Now tool on your listing. If you do have another application process, that's completely fine. You click here. If there's application link, you're able to put that there. If you use paper application, so if it's Portland, you're able to upload that there. Or if there are any other kind of application procedures and processes, you're able to actually put that here as well. So any option, whether you're using the Rental Beast application or you have your own, you're able to set that here. And then once you do, we're going to select Rental Beast, save and continue, and it's going to send us to the next tab. And then under the next tab is for the syndication that we spoke about as far as where your options are. where it says allow syndication, you just want to make sure that's selected to yes. And then under premium syndicators is where you're able to actually control where your actual listing is being syndicated to. So Zillow, Realtor, Rent.com. Here's the list where you can check or uncheck where you want your listing to actually go. And then once you do make that decision, you'll click on publish, and then this is going to publish your listing. I already have a listing that I do have published, which is here. And again, these are just some of the actual alerts. If you're using the Rental Bees property management, or if you're taking advantage of the proper property management software integrations and you claim a listing, you have the ability to take advantage of our instant claim tool. If it needs to be marked as rented, you'll see that. If there's a new lead, you'll see this. And then, of course, any missing required fields, you'll be able to get notifications there as well. If you do enable the Rental Beast application, this is also where you're going to be able to find your quick apply link. You'll simply copy it this, and this is, let's see. Let's see if we can get an example of what the page looks like. Tools are in the way, so we'll do here. Oh, give me 1 second. Zoom is actually in my way. Here, we'll just do it like this. Paste and go. See if it gives you, yep. So this is what the landing page for the quick apply link will look like. So it'll have like the main photo. It's going to have your agent information, very quick details of the property, an overview. And then this is where they will enter their contact information. So it's their full name, email, verify the email, add any additional applicants. They'll be able to click here and then click apply now, and then they'll be able to be taken into the actual application to start the listing. So that's how you will initiate an application using your quick apply link. If you are wanting to initiate an application, say, for example, you're working directly with the renter and the landlord says, I don't have my own application process. I would like to use the Rental Bees application. And this is just another disclaimer that you would not be able to use it from Portland, Maine. Click got it. But if the landlord says they're willing to accept the Rental Bees application, then you will click start a tenant screening. Once you click here, it's going to give you just some disclaimers of just making sure that you've confirmed that the landlord or listing agent will accept the Rental Bees application. In the property contact area, you will put the person that will be reviewing the application. So this is the listing agent or the landlord, but this is the person that will be either making the decision on the actual report that needs to go into this actual field here. You'll put the property information here. The property does not have to be within the Rental Bee system in order for you to use the Blue Form application. So you'll put whatever the property information is here. You'll put the applicant information here. If there's any additional applicants, you'll click the plus sign. It'll give you the option to add a second applicant. And then you'll click invite applicant to apply. Once that happens, there's emails that's going to go out to let the applicant know you've been invited to apply to this property. They'll click the invite to accept it, and then they will start moving through the application process. And then you, as the tenant agent, again, will be kept into the loop on the actual status of the applications. You just will not get the reports for the actual application. And then, of course, on the listing agent side of it, because they were listed as the property contact, they're also going to get updated at the process of the application. But once those reports are ready, they're going to receive that email that tells them they can view the application, and then they would just log into the Rental Bees platform to do so. Now, because this is a test account, I don't have any active applications here, but just a quick overview that you're able to filter by status of the listing, or you're able to filter by whether your listings are active or only active applications, application pending, application only. And you'll be able to easily view the listings here. It's going to give you your, say for instance, it's PJ. You'll click on this application. There's going to be a drop down and it's going to ask you to view the application. Now, I know this is a lot. And we haven't really covered a lot of things as well. So I will show you like the helpful resource that you can go to in order to get acclimated with the actual system. But I just want to show you very last the clients tab. So this is where any client that you auto accept or that's accepted on your behalf or that you add manually, this is where they'll be hosted. When you click on it, this is the questionnaire that is automatically sent out to the client when you accept them, or if you manually enter them, you can actually send the questionnaire to them manually as well. But this hosts a lot of information, such as their preferences, some general info. But then you'll also notice on the side here under client activity, it's going to let you know that you accept the lead. This applicant actually submitted an application, sent an application. So you're able to kind of see everything that's pertaining to this client within this tab. So they requested a showing on the property, gives you the details that you need, gives you a link to the listing, submitted some information. So this is a really great way for you to stay on top of what your client is actually doing without having to constantly hound them about what they're doing. And then you're able to actually launch searches from here as well, as I said. So you click on the search button, and then it's going to allow you to run search on the general info that's here. So you're able to, if you need to set them up on any additional alerts and things like that. If we go back, you can see that activity directly in their tab, or if you click on the activity hub, this will actually show you an overview. This is a test account, so it doesn't seem like it's loading, but under the actual activity hub, you'll be able to see the activity for every client that you have under here. So there we go. Yay. So again, this is going to show you for every client that you have, you accepted the lead, they submitted an application, you sent the information, but anything that's happening with them, you will be able to see here within your hub here. Obviously, this is a lot. So, Brittany, if I have questions or, if I come in here and I forget everything that's been in this webinar, where do I actually go for additional assistance? Well, you have a couple of options. If you click on the question mark here, you will see our resources under Rental Beach University. This is going to take you to our help center. Under the Help Center, you have some options to go if you have direct questions about Apply Now. The Apply Now Help Center has all the articles pertaining to the actual Apply Now tool. Rental Beats webinars, such as this one, you'll be able to find within under your Rental Beats webinars. If you're more so interested in the renters to buyer resources or just overall rental, not just rental, specific Rental Beast topics, but just real estate topics, there is an NAR rental series that you're able to take advantage of, but we're going to go into the actual help center. And then from here, you're able to see that for every feature or part of the tool that we have, there's a help article that goes along with it. So if you are looking on how to add your listing, you'll simply type in how to, let's see, add and edit a listing, how to add or edit your listing. You'll click here. There's going to be some videos there. The videos will have, some of the articles may have screenshots, step-by-step instructions, but it's very detailed. So you're able to do actually what you need to do in order to get your listing within the system, or whatever your question may be. Our articles are usually laid out in this format, but they're very detailed to make sure that you're able to get your answers that you're looking for. If you want to email us, there's also a contact support email button that's directly here that will email our support for any assistance. And then there's also a chat option as well. So Rental Beast hours are Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then Saturdays and Sundays, 10 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we operate 7 days a week. So you should always be able to reach a human, whether it's through email and through chat, but chat is typically the quickest way to reach us. And then what you would do is just say, for instance, how do I search? You'll type in a question. It will give you some help articles. Maybe that's what you're looking for. So it's going to give you some options. But if it does not help, You'll say, no, I still need help. It's going to ask you if you want to connect with the team member. You'll click chat with the team member. It's going to ask you just some details about yourself, your name and an email address. And then once you click next, that's going to connect you with one of our Rental Beast customer service members that will be able to answer your questions, and just give you some additional guidance and support from there. So whether you are, more of a DIY, you just like to come in there and get your questions answered yourself, or you would like to speak to actually one of us, you're able to do that in a couple of different ways here. And then last, if you are just kind of wanting to go over some additional like learning, we do have a education tab that will take you through some self-paced courses, and hopefully the test account will work with me. There we go. So it will take you through conquering rentals from lead to lease. There's courses that'll take you from the beginning to end. So if you're new to rentals, convert rental to buyer, and you just kind of don't know where to start, or you just want to kind of just take in as much knowledge as you can, I would definitely advise that you come to this tab and take advantage of what's in here, to kind of really build on your learning. So we're going to stop it here. We're going to see what questions that we have. I know we're very close to almost 12 o'clock. So if I'm not able to answer all the questions now, I will definitely make sure that one of our support members reach out to answer questions. Do you do commercial lease? Unfortunately, we do not. So we only do residential rental leases, or residential rentals within side of rental lease. So no for sale listings or commercial listings, only rental listings. Okay. Well, it doesn't seem like we have any real questions here. So either hopefully that was very clear, or you guys have fallen asleep. Hopefully not. But if you do have any additional questions, please, reach out to us through any of those channels. We're always here on the other end to help. I did put the emails there, so hopefully you jotted them down. Otherwise, you will get this recording within 24 hours of this ending. And then, yeah, we're happy to answer any questions that you have. So please feel free to reach out to us. Amy, thank you for joining us. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your morning, your afternoon. Bye, guys.